Hi everyone, Mature Simmer here. So my canola is ready, as expected. So I'm going to get moving on that. And at this point, everything else is still growing. So let me take a look here. I think we're okay. As soon as we unfold. There we go. And we'll be able to take that. And again, we're going to have, at least the oats are out of there. There wasn't any kind of cross-contamination, because otherwise, if I hadn't harvested that, as soon as I touched that, we would have stopped harvesting. So just got to be a little more careful as I go around. You can see our sunflowers moving along. Obviously the sunflowers across the road are moving along. As a reminder, a few episodes back toward the end, I had asked some questions about what do I do with regards to, do I get fields, do I not, do I focus on saving money for production. So looking for those answers. If you haven't gone over there and chimed in, I encourage you to do so. Obviously haven't made that decision yet because the video is not out yet, and but I am moving forward without holding back because I kind of have a clear path for probably a couple more things. So but yeah, here in any event, I am going to now, let's see, can I lock myself in on a path here? I think I can. I'm just not sure. I think the field here stays direct or stays straight. But yeah, at least I can start moving back and forth. So, trying to move forward, get through this level, which really requires the sunflowers to be, I was going to say hatched, but finished and harvested. But in the meantime, I may put something on this field. I may wait. But either way, I want to kind of combine a few things. We've got a threat of rain here, as you can see. That's also not great, so I want to make sure that I move forward here as quick as I can, because I do think around 9 o'clock we run the risk of having rain. So just a quick update, got a full harvester here. I need between 10 and 11,000 off this field. It's going to be close, I will tell you that. I'm just really hoping we're not going to still be short of our canola for this VIP order level. Alright, I believe I'm going to be okay. We have almost 11,000, 10,971. So it actually ended up a little better than I thought when I was in the combine. Let's see what it looks like. We need 14,000. So I've got my fill limit set on this trailer. I'm going to go to the silo. Let's see what we get. Here we go. Alright, we reached the limit. That is great. I was so concerned. But you can see we had 207 liters. So it was super close. So there's the silage bunker that I nearly forgot about. Well, I did forget about. So we'll be working on that at some point so that we can start getting our own TMR. But I'm going to go get this delivered. Alright, scratch that. Canola is not due till level 4, so I'm going to put this back in the silo. Guess I should have checked that ahead of time, but it's not that bad. But I'm going to put this back here, and then we've got to wait for our next crops. Alright, so a quick peek at our VIP orders. Because again, this is what's kind of driving our activity here. Only crops we have: canola, we've solved this. Sunflowers we're harvesting. Hopefully we've solved both of them. If not, we won't know that until we harvest. Obviously oats we're waiting on as well. So if I've seen my crop activity appropriately, those are both going to be harvestable the same day. So we're going to have a busy day. We're going to have the other 3 fields that we have all to be harvested all at once. In the interim, cows are creating slurry. We've got straw. It's sitting here. But as far as moving things forward to be able to get butter, be able to keep feeding our cows so that they grow, we need silage. So what I'm going to do is I am going to collect all those bales off of the field, and we're just going to store those right now, I think, at the shed up by the silo, because I've got some space there. I may decide somewhere else, but right now I don't know that that'll be the case. But I'm going to collect these off, and then I'm going to basically mow the grass and pull that down and dump it into the silage bunker. So that's how I'm going to spend the remainder of this day, is basically hopefully getting all that work done. But if I can't get all that work done, my hope is that I can get a lot of it done. So I'll see you in a bit. Alright, so I've got 29 bales in there, so if I've done my math correctly, that's 522,000 liters of hay. So we've got plenty to throw in the TMR mixer. So my next step is to mow the lawn. Alright, so I'm going to pop in here. I'm going to get the mowers connected. So get my front mower, my back mower. Alright, I think we'll head this way. Alright, just trying to kind of line up here so I get a little bit of a straight line. Alright. Nicely done. Alright, so we are mowing along here. Why? Oh, do I have to start them? I didn't start the front. I just had started the back. So again, as we had before, you know, we'll have some cleanup to do with turns and so forth, but I'm going to go ahead and get this mowed, and I have cleaned up the yield map on everything. So I'm going to have to get this mowed, and then I'm going to have to get it windrowed, and that may be all I'm going to be able to do before it gets dark here. Which is unfortunate. I was hoping I could get everything moved along today, but it looks like we might be starting a little later on our silage than I thought. And again, that could turn into a problem. Just not quite sure how significant it's going to be. But I'm going to go ahead and get the 2 fields mowed, get the 2 fields windrowed, is my target right now. I'll see if I run out of daylight. If I do, obviously we'll, fill you in on that, but I'll see you in a bit. Alright, so I'm getting just about finished here. So we might be done by 6 p.m. with the mowing. So certainly be able to get done with the windrowing, I think, because that's a wider working with job. I just don't think we're going to be able to fully finish the foraging to get everything back into the silage pit, or the bunker silo, and therefore, get things done. So, as we talked about with the cows, the cows are kind of transparent, so there you go. Obviously we could play the game of trying to avoid them, but they don't move out of the way, so, we'll be waiting forever. In a lot of cases, we could be down to the last segment and cow decided to lay down and refuse to get out of the way. So anyway, just wanted to let you know kind of where things were at. So not quite done at 6 o'clock. Time's a little bit past, but close. And I'm going to go ahead and get this windrowed. So I'll see you in a bit. Making my last windrow here on field 11. That will wrap things up here at just before, I guess it would be, what, 9 o'clock? Yeah. Alright, I may clean that up there. I think it'll just be smoother if I do that, rather than kind of have this little piece there. Straighten that out a bit. There we go. So we'll get that tucked away. So I'm gonna get this done tonight. I'm gonna get everything in to the silage pit so that I can I keep saying silage pit. The bunker silo is technically what they're called. But, the goal is obviously do that so that I can get things going, because I think tomorrow's going to be a super long harvest day, because again, if you recall, my thought was I think we're going to have all the harvesting hitting all at once. So oops, yeah, this windrower is tough because it does have the wheels that turn on the back, and so they just tend to why. There we go. Let's see. I don't know. We'll see if we can. Just interesting how it lines up here. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the Massey, because this is my heaviest horsepower tractor, because the goal is certainly do as much as I can with the forage wagon and fill it if possible. So that will mean I need my heaviest horsepower vehicle to pull it. Alright, thought it was in here. It's not. Alright, so it's over here next to where the harvester was. So I'm going to grab this. And I'll probably just now head up to field 12 since I turned that way. Alright, so I'm heading over here to field 12. And I'll pick stuff up here. Don't know that it makes sense to do anything other than just drive this at this point. So, sorry sleepy cows, but we're gonna go by. At least he got up. He was smart. Oh, I just can't see it flinging it up anymore. I was like, did it stop suddenly? I was expecting to see some underneath, but it appears okay. Hopefully I can do a pretty good job on the turn. It's always fun when we gotta keep fixing the things, but hopefully that won't happen too often. So, let's see, 10,000 is over a quarter, so we're gonna get less than 40,000 liters in here. Alright, pretty. Now, did it let me pick things up, or did it give me a hard time? I'll see if I catch that later. I thought I had windrowed the corner off, but obviously I have some sort of issue, so maybe I'll come at it from the other direction there. But yeah, we'll cover this just so we get an idea how much it takes to fill this. So yeah, it looks like, what, 17, 18, so maybe 36,000. Some amount between 35 and 36, I think, is where we're going to end up here. Unless, of course, we have a weight problem first, where we're going to get blocked because of max weight. Because I would think grass is pretty heavy. It's not dried out, anything like that, so. But we'll see if we can make it around before we fill it. And again, I mean, on the one hand, I'd like to get a lot, because then I don't have to do this often. But then on the other hand, I'd like to not get a lot, because then it's going to take a while. But we'll see. Alright. Good news is, because, yeah, this, other than a baler, like, the forage wagon's got a pretty wide pickup, I think, so these cows don't care, because they know nothing's going to happen to them. So they don't have normal cow instincts. They're not programmed for that. And there we go, 35,000. Alright. Instead of making it difficult, I'll just swing around. Because, yeah, aside from dumping the grass into the bunker, then we'll have to compress it before we can cover. So, like I said, I'm anticipating a bit of a long night here. But sometimes that happens with farmers. You just kind of do what you gotta do and get it done. So normally, like, if I was really trying to max out the bunker, you know, you get in the back corners, you pile it up, and I just don't know how much I'm gonna do. And I'm sure they put in this gigantic silo here, because of the fact, again, we could theoretically, with the barns on the farm here, we could have 2,000 head of cows on here. So that's not insignificant by any means. So, but I do want to try to get things pretty close to the corner if I can. This is just not working quite as I would like. That might work. Alright, so let's see. Now, there we go. Alright. So that'll dump. should fill up pretty nicely. There we go. So yeah, that's, I think because it's somewhat of a powered forage wagon, it piles up higher than normal. I've not used one of these before. I've just had kind of trailers, and I mean, they've been forage wagons, but this one seems to have a little get up and go. But anyway, I will continue to do this, and just pop back in to let you know when we're done and we're ready to start the compacting. So I'll see you in a bit. Making the final pass here. There we go. 13,699 liters of grass again. Go dump that in the pit. I think this is the 8th or 9th load. So we're at like 250,000 liters of grass off this field. Which is obviously less than we got off at the first time, I guess, because the bales again were 200 or 500,000, but again, maybe when it dries up it expands a bit. I'm not sure. Or maybe it just grew better. It wouldn't seem that it would grow double, but you can start to see how the bunker looks here. I'm not quite sure why it's struggling so much. I mean, maybe I think did have it on, so maybe that is taking some horsepower running the PTO. So I was going to dump up to the front, but given that this is all kind of new, and so I've never done this work in FS22. I've done this work in FS19. So I'm just not sure how the bunker silo will continue. It's interesting. Again, we've got kind of something that appears to be running. I'll be over here compacting in a second. So I'm going to go ahead and leave that silage fork there. Lift this up a bit, but I think this is my largest vehicle. So for compacting, I know the larger the vehicle it is, the more effective it is. Now my concern is I'm not seeing any percent here. So I'm wondering if this is even doing what I think it's doing. Oh, that's great. Lift this up. Alright, so it is compacted 5%, 250,634, as you can see. So I'll just keep running it back and forth here. No, but what my concern was up front is, am I going to have a situation where it spreads the silage, because you can see how it's kind of spreading here. Will I have a situation where it suddenly starts to push it out front, and then I have challenges with regards to just getting things done and kept in the bunker. The other thing that I have that I do need to be careful with, is tipping over, but I also don't have a bucket of any kind. So when we go to scoop this stuff out, I am going to have to change that and pick up a bucket to be able to grab this. Now, I assume I can't just cover part of this. I don't know if it's like once I cover the silo, it's the whole silo. I'm not intentionally moving over to the back edge, but obviously it's struggling with this, so I'm going to kind of keep trying to move around a bit. But yeah, it looks like at least it's reasonable in its effectiveness, where I'm, you know, getting a percent or two every pass. You know, but just like anything, it takes some time to get this all taken care of. I'm trying to get rid of that bump. It's just not happening. Right, so I'm going to keep running back and forth, and I'll be back here when I'm compacted, and then we'll be done for this super, super long day. Alright, we're getting down to the last couple percentage points here. 99. I'm sure by the time we back off the pile, there we go. 100%. So, we keep the lights on. At this point, I can blanket the silo, and there we go. So, we have some silage going, and so obviously at this point, we've got the hay, we've got the straw, and we will have the silage. So we've got everything we need, but as you can see, 2:22 in the morning, definitely a long run, but what I'll be able to do now as a regular job is, as the grass grows, just keep cutting it, keep filling this, and then I would think, as long as I'm not getting close to that area, I'll be able to keep throwing things in, but I'll have to kind of see how that all works out. But that's all we've got for today. So by the time this episode airs, more than likely we'll have made the choice. I'll have had the votes come in from episode 13 about whether we're expanding fields or continuing to save some cash and focusing on something else like productions. So, but certainly feel free to comment if you haven't, and it can certainly influence things going forward. And, you know, you can make it just drop a comment in this video too if you'd rather. Just let me know what your thoughts are. I'll see you next time.